Hello, it is Dr. Calico, and today we are going to be developing some more Neon Defense. So what we have here is the engine is now in a good enough state to actually start making waves. And we've actually been doing this for a bit now. The first wave, or the first level, yeah, it's absolutely playable. Yeah, you get like a lot of money uh, in the first level. This is enough to afford, if it plays out in its entirely, each bot, with the best turret and best hull is 200 credits. So this is enough to afford 25 of the improved bots with improved turrets. Yeah, that is definitely more than enough to complete the wave, or complete the entire level. Here, yeah, this is where we start to introduce a new enemy. And I want to make sure that it is possible to actually beat them. I have it set up so that the game thinks that I am on the second level with the cannon unlocked. So let's give it a go right here. Yeah, however, yeah, in the engine, I also didn't set it so that way it recognizes that we have already encountered ants. So you're gonna see that pop up quite a lot. But yeah, this is the currently second level, and I've actually decided to keep the wave number up here above the factory. Yeah, the engine creates this once uh, the moment the engine's loaded. And actually, I do like how there's a lot of things that are just created when the engine is loaded. That way I don't need to just place them in the scene because, well, the engine creates them. And yeah, this is the new enemy right here. So we're going to build a second basic bot. Yeah, and this one is even tougher than the last one. Oh, and also, what I've also done is I have improved the physics of this game. Yeah, because before you would keep moving bots around whenever they were in motion. That doesn't happen anymore. Yeah, and also, uh, yeah, they only collide when the actual bots are overlapping as well. So yeah, this beetle, as I've come to call it, it takes much more damage to take down. Yet, yeah, it does not die in a single hit. It takes a lot of firepower right here. Okay, I think that that's a pretty good location. Not too hard, but also not too easy either. Maybe it is a little bit too easy though. Okay, so yeah, and actually even more amusing is the fact that if I add more waves here, it actually just works. So I don't need to signify which is the last wave. Yeah, because the way that the code works is it will go through all of these first before anything else, and then it gets to here. Oh, time to run through all of these. Mhm. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to add in another wave. Yeah, and also a good thing about structures is you can just create a variable right here. Yeah, I don't need to worry about deleting the variable because in the level loading, it just clears every single children from the structures. Yeah, like it clears all of them. Yeah, I don't need to specify which children to clear. It just says, okay, structure here, remove all of these children. Okay, so what we need to do is we're going to create another wave. Yep, put that down here. So this is okay. Yeah, I want to make this wave harder. Let's double that. And actually 15 times as well. Oh wait, that's 30 seconds. We want to make this 35 seconds. Yeah, because 3 seconds times 10 is 30 seconds. So we want to make that just a little bit longer. Yeah, okay, so yeah, what that will do is that will add in another wave. Yeah, then we're also going to take out the calculator here because each individual ant is one value with the Mark 1, and each individual beetle Mark 1 is value 3. So I'm trying to do the math complicated. I don't want to do that. Yeah, actually I don't even need to do the math. 16 times 15, 240 value. Hmm, plus 240. So is that enough? We'll need to find out. Yeah, 240 plus 100. Yeah, plus 180 equals 420. Nice. I actually didn't intend for that. Okay, so let's continue. And also, we're in the middle of making a small improvement to the engine as well, which is that what I want to do is I want to clear all of these variables the moment you press the build button. And then what I want to do is you can just select units ahead of time. And what will happen is once you press build, it will copy the variables from. Uh, okay, so basically, what will happen is when you press the buttons for the hull and turret, it will put those variables into the UI itself as text variables, the names of the turrets, and then when you press the button to build, it will then copy the variables from the UI itself onto the factory and start building. Why do I want to do that? Because uh, simply put, you can have basically a mini build queue. So that way, what will happen is once the bot is ready to go, you can just press confirm build, and it will just immediately start building the next bot. Yeah, we're still working on that. I think we might as well work on that more. But yeah, I do like the art pass of what's happened here. Yeah, and also another thing I've decided to do is I've decided to remove the collision from the road for ground units because let's be entirely honest, the road itself kind of separates like half the map. And being locked out from half the map is, as we like to call it in the business, lame. So don't do that. And I mean, it is very lame. Yeah, I should get like 100 credits any second now. There we go. Okay, things are definitely happening here, and yeah, we are definitely getting more money. Yeah, actually, I should also have um, I don't think I've ever actually expressed this yet, but there is code to change the bots' transparency or opacity, the lower the health they are. I think I want to recycle that code for the enemies as well. Yeah, because that way you can tell which enemies are damaged and which aren't. But yeah, the big question is, can I finish this wave with just two basic bots? It looks like it. But we can get a cannon, so we're gonna build a cannon right now. Yep, and that is in fact a cannon. And actually, I think the blast radius might be too small now they look at it. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, to increase the blast radius of the cannon, I'd say let's bump it up to, let's say, 45, and then 55. But actually, hang on. I think that there's actually another way to do it. Okay, so it should be here. We're gonna assign the bullets value. Change the object variable. Damage set to turret. Turret offensive stats. Damage. Yeah, I think that let's do this. No wait. Yeah, that's gonna set it constantly. I don't want to do that. But also, a big question. No, no, no. I'm confused. I'm confusing myself. Yeah, I think that there's a few disconnected systems, and I now just realized that. So, bullets. Okay, common friendly, no. Bullet basic. Cannon shell. Oh, wow. So that's what's happening. Actually, the big question is, do I even need any of these numbers? Yeah, I'm gonna take a screenshot real quick and delete all of these and see what happens. Variables, offensive stats, I'm just going to straight up. No, wait, I do need some of these stats. Yeah, because it's listed here. Okay, so how do I fix this mess? Yeah, I actually don't know how to fix this mess. Yeah, let's change the blast radius to 45 and 55. Yeah, because those enemies, they are spread out. Also, that's the main menu, you goober. Yeah, and also, I don't think I mentioned this, but it will also tell you if there's a new enemy, the wave before they spawn. Yeah, that way, yeah, yeah, it just says new enemy next wave right here. Yeah, so what that will do is it will at least tell the player, hey, you got something new incoming next wave. And this is for every enemy if it's possible. Okay, enemy has been added to database. Good. Yeah, what that will do is it currently does nothing, but I do plan on having it so that way the moment that you encounter an enemy for the first time, it'll just open up their entry for that database. But yeah, things are going pretty alright so far. Yeah, and then there's the last wave by default marker. Yeah, I'd say let's get a cannon. 145 credits. Yeah, we are definitely dealing damage here. Okay, 175 credits. That is enough to afford another one of these. So let's see here. Okay, so that's also 30 seconds. Yeah, spawn marker 6. Let's set that to true. I hate it when it does that. And let's actually increase the mark of these guys as well. Okay, so what that will do is that will double the value. So that is 2 plus 6. So 8 each. Wait, no. Um, that's not how math works. 20 plus 12, 32. So 32 times 20, 640. 640 plus 420 equals 1. Okay, so let's see if this wave works. Yeah, we need to continue testing. Yeah, I think maybe cannons might actually be a really good weapon if we increase the blast radius. Yeah, because let's be entirely honest, these guys they can swarm. And having a slow, heavy weapon that can clear the ground might actually be essential. Yeah, especially if the enemies get tougher. But yeah, we're going to build a second basic bot with a second basic turret. Yeah, let's save up for a cannon. Uh, I'm gonna say improved cannon. Actually, we kind of do need a cannon now. So let's just build a basic bot. And whoops, selected the factory. But yeah, it is in fact dealing damage. We know this. Yeah, actually, we're so close to affording an improved cannon here. But yeah, I really do like the flow of this right here. Yeah, there's a lot of enemies on screen at once, and we are dealing damage to all of them. Yep, still dealing damage to the entire wave. But yeah, I think that buffing the cannon was definitely the correct call here. And actually, let's get an improved turret as well. And also, the target priority is a bit weird. I just don't know why. Okay, so that is a lot of units. Yeah, I'm going to wait 40 seconds. Actually, that might be a bit too little time. 50 seconds. Yeah, set this to true. Yeah, increase the density by, let's say, up the density to 5. And then, maybe increase the mark once more. Okay, so what is the new value here? So we've established 3, 6, 12 is okay, so this is 60 right here. Then one, two, four. Okay, so this is 100. So 2,500, I believe. Now the big question is that too much? Yep. Yeah, is that too much that we are tossing at the player at the same time? We need to test that. So yeah, we have to go through the entire early wave all over again, and yeah, we'll get it really quickly. Yep, incoming beetles, perfectly fine. I think get a second one of these. I'm actually quite curious though. What if I just get more regular turrets? Yeah, like what if I just go for overwhelming firepower? Yeah, like are cannons truly necessary? Yeah, are cannons truly necessary? Let's test that out here. Okay, this is definitely starting to get a bit problematic. Oh, wait, hang on. That is wrong. Yeah, it used the wrong timer. So the last wave didn't even spawn. Yeah. Okay, this is where things start to get hectic a little bit. You move them over here to start dealing damage immediately. Let's save up for an improved cannon. Why not? Yeah, and actually, why not get 300 credits as well? Okay, we almost have 300 credits. We have 300 credits. Let's build. Yeah, I think we're also going to need more DPS as well. And yeah, that's the improved physics right there. I can just put the bots like right next to each other. Okay, get even more bots onto the field. Actually, I know that something's wrong here. This is a bit overwhelming. Ah, I see. Wrong. Yeah, it was using the wrong marker. Yeah, double check your work, people. Yeah, just waiting for testing. Actually, I think I want to save up this time. Yeah, we're going to do a gambit. Yeah, because who doesn't love gambits? Yeah, the gambit here is we're just going to save up for 160 credits and get the improved basic turret. Yeah, like this one. Yeah, honestly, I still don't know why sometimes the targeting priority is a bit weird, but oh well. And then why not do that again? Yeah, then just for funsies, why not just do it again? Okay, yeah, I don't think we can just use static defenses here. Let's get a cannon out. This is a lot of enemies. Yeah, we are designed to flex on those people as well. Yeah, let's also do that again. Another cannon. Hmm. Yeah, the cannons are definitely putting in some work here. Yeah, they do fire slowly, but the upside is the fact that they deal a lot of damage, which is kind of what we need here. But yeah, the blast radius does in fact deal damage. I'm noticing that enemies are dying despite not being the primary target. Yeah, so we should probably defend the exit as well. Yeah, there is no code currently for losing, but still. Yeah, definitely defend the exit. Yeah, just an onslaught of cannon shells are going down range. This is awesome. Yeah, these cannons are really softening up the clusters of stronger enemies as well. Okay, so actually, what I want to do, RTS, event group, yeah, enemy health, for each object of enemies. Yeah, enemies divided by, yeah, enemies. Actually, I want to make sure that I'm doing this right. Let's just put it there. Okay, now the big question is, does this look better? Yeah, I mean, we still can't tell because, well, the enemies just die in one hit in the early game. Okay, second basic turret going up. Hmm. Okay, this does make damage much more apparent. Yeah, so now we can actually see if the blast radius is doing damage, and I like that. Yep, just continue dealing damage. Just continue dealing damage. Meanwhile, we're gonna get an improved basic turret. And actually, I'm gonna put you like right over here. No, nah. Let's move all of you like right here. And just perform just a firing squad right here. Yeah, what do we just have even more damage per second? Yeah, last wave, and it's very obvious that just raw damage per second is definitely not helping here. Yep, so it's time to get a cannon. Yeah, we need to get another cannon. Actually, are the cannons dealing damage? Yeah, they are dealing damage. Yeah, something doesn't seem right. Yeah, we need to check the blast radius. I don't think that this is working. Actually, uh, what if we just do that? Okay, we need to do another thing. We need to give ourselves 1,000 credits just so we can test this. This is obviously unbalanced, but we need to do testing. Yeah, that's not working. Okay, what do we do that? Yeah, I knew this was working earlier, but it's suddenly not. I don't know why. Okay, now it's working. Yeah, it is dealing area damage. But now the big question is that going to instantly kill everything? Because if it is going to instantly kill everything all at once, then that could be a huge problem. Yeah, because the damage is not an instant kill. It's just really high damage. Yeah, the only way to know if it instantly kills is if we're up against an enemy that has a health value that is higher than its damage, which should be coming up really soon. But yeah, in the moment, we're just gonna place this cannon turret over here. But yeah, I don't think that the improved bots are a waste of money because it's just an all-around improvement in stats, including movement speed. Yeah, we'll find out eventually. Yeah, it should be like, I think we're coming up to a wave where the health of the beetles is higher than the damage of the cannon. But yeah, that is just beautiful. Yeah, maybe the cannon is going to be really good anti-ground. Actually, what's the damage on this? 100 damage. Yeah, I believe the final wave finally has enemies of a higher health value. Actually, are they really a higher health value? Yeah, I need to double check that. Enemies. 40, 80, 160, 320, 640. I'll just change this to Mark 5 Beetles and see what happens. If it is instantly killed, then that's a problem. Yeah, because what is probably happening is I think it's applying damage every frame. Okay, so that is a Mark V beetle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shots. What's the damage on this? Yeah, that is actually correct. Let's actually change this to 60, 75. Yeah, and actually, I think we can actually get rid of a few values as well, since I think what has been established is things are tied to the projectile instead of the um, the actual turret itself. Like, if I just get rid of all these, will the game whine about it? The game does not whine about it. So yeah, that's a bunch of useless variables that we just got rid of. Like, this, this we can get rid of, this we can get rid of. We do not, we definitely need the blast radius. Actually, yeah, we definitely need the range. Yeah, if there's one stat we definitely, absolutely need, it is the range. So yeah, remove all of those and perfectly fine now. Yep, it is 100% fine. Now it's time to actually change some values here. Yeah, because we've made some changes. So the cannon shell is 6075. UI creation. Or turret buttons. Nope. Yeah, we're gonna search for cannon. Yes, 60. 75. Then also, what's the blast radius of the cannon shell again? 45, 55. Yeah, cannons. Probably a strong early game anti-ground turret, I'd say. Probably. Yeah, I think. Yeah, no, honestly, I think that now's a good time to end it off here. I'd say, yeah, yeah, don't really have any other plans, but yeah, that's basically the nutshell of, or rather the big thing of what we've done here is, yeah, the engine is good enough. Yeah, so we can just start programming in waves. So that's about it. Thanks for viewing.